Look at these beautiful onion rings. Today I'm going to teach you how to make these wonderful, crunchy, delicious, sweet goodies. Today I'm going to make some onion rings. Now, it was a few days ago that I decided I would get in the kitchen and do some experimentation. This is one of those little things I like to do. Even though I'm comfortable in my skills, I always practice to make myself better. And this is one of those times where I created a better recipe. And what I did is I started thinking, a few weeks back I did a recipe for fish and chips. Wonderful beer batter on that fish. And I thought, I like that beer batter. I wonder if I can get that to work on onion rings, if that would work out okay. So I did a lot of experimenting, and I came up with some great results. A basic beer batter recipe works fantastic when it comes to making truly good onion rings. So what we're going to do today is make a simple beer batter. There's not going to be any extra seasoning in it. There's not going to be any extra flavors because it's just not necessary. The batter itself is flavorful enough, especially when combined with the delicious sweetness of a red onion. So what we're going to do, make a simple beer batter. Now I'm going to tip you off to something. When I made my first experiments, I wanted to see what kind of difference baking powder would give me when making this particular recipe. So I did one recipe using 2 teaspoons of baking powder added to the mixture I'm about to show you. When I did that, it gave me a different quality of batter. It wasn't bad, it was good. It came out a little fluffier, as I expected it would. I was hoping it would make it crispier, but it didn't do that. It's still crispy, but in a different way. I think I could explain this with a Cheeto reference. Crunchy Cheetos versus the puffy Cheetos. When you add that baking powder to this recipe, it's crunchy like the puffy Cheetos are. When you don't, it's crunchy like the crunchy Cheetos are. Very similar in their construct. So if you would, let's give this a try. You're going to enjoy this. This is probably the best onion ring recipe I've come up with in a very long time. Let me show you how easy it is. Come on. Before I get busy cutting up this beautiful onion, let's discuss what all we're using. I've got some cooking oil over here. Now I'm using peanut oil. You can use any kind of cooking oil you want. Works fine for this recipe. I have flour. I have my onion. I have some ale back here. Now, the reason I'm using ale instead of a different kind of beer, ales are generally very robust and malty, and that makes for a good tasting batter. Okay, so if you're wondering where's my seasoning, it's right there. It's that's my seasoning for the batter. You're going to need also something to mix that batter with, whether it be a spoon or a spatula or a whisk or something like that. A bowl for your batter, a bowl for your onion, and something to dust them with flour if you choose to do that. Right? Now, let's get into making these. This is real super easy, folks. This recipe is simple enough. We don't have to be exacting with measurements either. You're going to need a rough cup of flour or slightly more. So that was about maybe a cup and a quarter or just slightly less. So like I said, your ingredient measurements don't have to be perfect. Now that we have our flour in there, I want to take some beer and we're just going to get it mixed in there. Let's take a closer look over here, okay? That's much better when you get the close-up. Just pour your beer in there, stir them together, and you're not going to use the whole beer. You're going to use all but about an inch of the bottom. If you wish to add a little salt, just add in a pinch of salt. It'll be fine. There we go. That is our batter right there. It's just that simple, guys. There we go. It's sort of like a thin pancake batter at this point. Now we're processing our onion out. I'm going to take off that stem end and then the outer layers, get down to some really good quality onion. There we go. I gave that a light rinse after removing the outer layers. Now I can, once I remove this root, I can turn this into some really thick ones or do 2 1/2-inch cuts. Cutting right there and there. Okay, that would be your typical onion ring. If I halved this, it would be super thick onion rings. Either way you want to go on it works fine. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go really thick ones this time. Do myself a favor. Make me some fat onion rings. Now separate your onion pieces. In the process of this, if you happen to break one of your rings, don't worry about that. It won't affect the quality of your onion rings. It'll still come out good and tasty. It'll have the right flavor, folks. Trust me. Now that I have my onions all cut and in the bowl, gently dust a little flour over the outside of them. Doesn't take a lot, folks. And once they're gently dusted with flour, you've got them ready to go. Now, when you see this little light coating of flour, sometimes there's a little skin there. Pull that out. Don't worry about that. It won't affect a thing. Once you see this little light film of flour on the outside of your onion rings, what this does, it actually helps the onion ring to hold more of the batter. Nothing other than that. It's just that simple, okay? I have my oil heating and a good thermometer here to know what temperature that oil is. You're going to need that to oil between 300 and 325. While that is heating, I've prepared everything. My onions are sliced and dusted with flour. That batter is made. It's ready to go. And I have out a drain rack and a pair of tongs for removing it from the oil. I simply don't like to use the same tongs to remove it from the oil as I used to do my battering with. So as soon as the oil's hot enough, we'll batter the onion rings and then drop them directly into our hot oil. Our oil is now to about 300 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead, come apart, get some of my onions down here in my batter. And this is simple enough. If I can get my bowls to stop singing. Just give it a simple light coating of batter and right down into the oil. Now at first it's going to stick to the bottom. Don't let that bother you, because in a moment they're going to pop free from the bottom, float to the surface, and be beautiful. Oh, there goes the first one. Popped right up there. There goes the next one. See how that works? Now as we do this, I'm going to go ahead and set a timer, and this is just a counting timer. It's going to count up. All I have to do is wait for these to turn golden brown. I'm going to cook them on one side, flip them over, hit them on the other side, and we're going to have beautiful onion rings in short order. Watch your temperature. Don't let it get over 325. Try to keep it between 300 and 325. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. As I see my cooking starting to slow a little bit, that's telling me to take a look at the other side. Oh, looky there. These are going to be so tasty. I love my onion rings. My cooking time has now been right about, looks like 7 minutes, 6:58. Okay, these have turned golden and the cooking has slowed. So what I want to do is I'm going to take these out, just lift them up, let that drain, and put it on a wire rack to finish draining. So we know we're looking at about a 7-minute cook, between 7 and 8 minutes roughly. Well, the cooking is over. It didn't take but a few minutes, and now I've got these delicious onion rings. Yeah. Crispy, crunchy, golden. and fabulously sweet. Folks, that's a good onion ring. Definitely one worth trying. Please give it a shot. Thank you for watching this. Please take a look at Texas Cooking Today. A lot of good recipes there, and while you're checking those out, be sure to share this recipe with your friends. This one is so easy, it should be enjoyed by everyone. It should be one that everyone makes at least a couple of times a year. Why not? Didn't take any real work. Folks, thank you very much. Please enjoy your onion rings. Enjoy Texas Cooking Today, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Heck yeah.